Hello everyone, this is Abhi. Welcome to the day 2 class for RPA. So as I mentioned in the last class, we are going to discuss about the UiPath tool, right? So UiPath is one of the most popular tool for RPA. In UiPath, we do have three components. One is UiPath Studio, UiPath Robot, we can also call as UiPath Assistant, and UiPath Orchestrator. UiPath Studio is nothing but where we create a projects, where we create an activities, where we create workflows by using the drag and drop functionalities. I will give you with an example. Whereas in automation testing, what we do for automating any kind of an application, we should have kind of a tool called as Selenium. For in this, if you want to automate any kind of a task, so we do have a kind of a scripting language. By using the writing a kind of a scripting language, we'll be automating the any kind of a functionality of the application. Similarly, whereas in UiPath Studio, if you want to automate the process, you should have a tool called UiPath. So where you're going to write the script, that is called UiPath Studio. So instead of writing a script, what you do here, you'll be drag and drop functionalities. It's a kind of an act, we'll call it as an activities. So that activities will be creating based on the functionality. So in UiPath, the next one is UiPath Robot. So in UiPath Robot, or you can call it as UiPath Assistant, whatever the task we create in the UiPath Studio, that will be executed in the robot by using the UiPath Robot, just like a humans. As you mentioned, it's like a human. And UiPath Orchestrator. UiPath Orchestrator is a kind of a web cloud device management actually. It's a web application. So where whatever the task we create, that will be storing into the orchestrator also, and where it can help us to keep the schedules and manage the robots, which help us like whatever the task we create, which we can keep the schedule. I want to run this bot for the particular time every day. It's a kind of a job triggers which we can done by using the UiPath orchestrator. And next, this UiPath, let's discuss with the help of three-tier architecture. As everyone aware, for any kind of a software application, we should be aware of three-tier architecture. And let's, what do you mean by three-tier architecture? I will give you a small overview of this. What is three-tier architecture? For any kind of an application, whatever the application we have, there will which contains three layers. One would be a client layer, and next one would be a server layer, and next one would be a database layer. Let's give you an example called there is a Facebook application where you are accessing to the Facebook application and you are able to view it. For login to the application, you are reviewing the application and you are entering the details and you are clicking on submit button, which is nothing but client layer. The whoever is viewing the application and able to enter, and this is a front end layer, which we can also call it as a front end layer, that is called a client layer. What is a server layer? Server layer is nothing but in the back end. For example, if you're giving the username password, that all the logics has been written inside of the server layer. And what is a database layer? Whatever the data which you have entered, or you have been done a sign up, or if you want to do a login, all the records will be inserted into the database. So by the help of the database only, whether you that will decide whether you want to do a sign up or whether you want to do a login. I hope you understand. Similarly, in the treated architecture, if you want to explain this UiPath Studio by using the UiPath with the help of treated architecture, in the client layer we do have a UiPath Studio and UiPath agent, like, which mean to say that which if a new user comes into the picture and install this UiPath, directly he will be seeing this UiPath Studio as well as the UiPath agent. As I mentioned, the server layer UiPath Orchestrator it is not a kind of a desktop tool. It is a web application tool where web application where you can schedule the based on the jobs. And it is a database layer where we will store all the records into the particular database based on the tenant. I hope you understand. So in the UiPath, what we do here, we'll be creating activities, we'll create a workflows, or we'll create a sequences that will be executing by using the UiPath agent. Whereas in the server layer, what it do, it will help us to keep the schedules. We'll be keeping the schedules and it will trigger for the particular time. What is a database? Whatever the data which we create, everything will be storing inside of their database. Okay, I hope you got it. And whereas we coming to the RPA, you'll be hearing the word called bot. So what is a bot? It's a kind of a human action. Whatever the task we create, that we call as a bot. So there are in the RPA, or either not only UiPath or automation anywhere. So every RPA contains two types of bots. One is attended bot and unattended bots. What is meant by unattended bots? Unattended bots is nothing but there is no human intervention will be required. Human intervention is not at all required. Okay, so I will give you an example. So there is an application, there is some kind of an application where you want to register a complaint. So sometimes they won't provide any kind of a contact numbers to reach out them directly. So they will provide kind of an email, and they will say for registering any complaint, please reach out to us by sending an email. So that time what you do, directly will be type an email and you will be sending an email to them. So but if you did not get any kind of a response from them, you feel like what the people were doing, and this a kind of, so they want to get a quick response. So you will be getting an automatic response says that your complaint has been registered and this is the XYZ tracking number. So this is automatic, like there is no human, there will be the the human won't track your complaint, and they won't send any kind of a manual messages to you. It's a kind of automation task. Got okay, right? So by using this orchestrator, as they mentioned, once if any email has been sent, it will trigger automatically within a second. We should get a response to the user says that the register has been complained. So that will be done in the unattended boards. Whereas attended boards is nothing but human intervention is mandatory. Without any human intervention, the task cannot be run. I'll give you another example. As you as we have everyone ever, what do you mean by data entry jobs? Data entry jobs is nothing but by entering the data from one source to other source. Let's say that I want to enter, there is an Excel called Excel, and there are number of data, there are number of like thousands of lakhs of records were there. So I want to enter this all records inside of the some specific application. So what you have to do, so for entering this all the details into their application, so how many resources you need to hire? So there will be a number of resources would be required, and that the time there is the time will be also consumed. So in order to avoid that, by if we create a board or create a attended boards, once we execute this board, automatically all the details which we written in the Excel, that will read from the Excel, and it will automatically enter to the application and will get the results. So this is called attended boards. It will be executed in the locally. This can be run in the externally. Okay, I hope you got it. If you want to become an RPA expert, I request to please reach out to me personally, and I request to please if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you everyone.